Hi again, everybody, and welcome to the Ingles Furman Radio Network preview of this week's Paladin football game at Samford. Final game of the 2021 season for Clay Hendricks' club, and it'll be the difference between a winning season and a losing season. Paladins with a win will finish things out at 6-5, and as we have all heard before, it's a lot better than going into the offseason at 5-6. I'm Dan Scott, the voice of the Paladins. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope you've enjoyed these videos each and every week. This is a new wrinkle that we decided to add prior to each football game to give you a little bit of an insight as to some of the storylines we're following inside the booth as we prepare for the broadcast each week. And this week, of course, you're talking about a high-octane, rapid-fire offense that runs at a tempo faster than anybody in this league and faster than most teams across the country in the Samford Bulldogs. It's a busy week here at Furman, has been already, and will be an even busier weekend for not only Furman in general, but especially for Tom Van Hoy and I on the broadcast crew. The men's basketball team is hosting a multi-team event here that's bringing Radford and Navy in. So Furman and Radford play basketball on Friday night. Furman and Navy play basketball on Saturday night, or Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock. Both of those games obviously in Timmons Arena. And while the other two teams, Radford and Navy, are playing each other at Timmons on Saturday, of course, the football team will be in Birmingham for the regular season finale, a 1 o'clock Eastern kickoff in Birmingham. And so we're going to be on the road a lot again and doing a lot of talking at you over the course of 3 days. But it's what we signed up for, and we absolutely love it. Let's take a look at these two teams, kind of give you a bit of a glimpse statistically. First of all, you can see on the left side of your screen there that Furman leads the all-time series 12-11, and they've done that because they've been able to win the last two. And you remember that fantastic overtime game here back in the spring that the Paladins rallied offensively to come back, force overtime, scored first, and then with Samford seemingly getting ready to score from inside the 5-yard line, the Bulldogs fumbled. Furman recovered and won that game on defense in the extra period. That's why the Paladins have a scant one-game lead in the all-time series heading into the 24th overall meeting. This is a Samford team that puts up points and yards, 38.3 points a game, 458.6 yards of total offense. They do it on the ground to a certain degree, but mostly through the air and mostly behind the talents of Liam Welch. Liam Neeson's an actor. How many times will I call him that? That's your over-under this week, and I think that's the first time that's ever happened. Maybe won't be the last. Liam Welch, their sixth-year graduate quarterback, has thrown for 3,097 yards and 20 touchdowns, completes 66% of his passes, has been picked off 14 times, but he's also a threat to run the ball. 456 rushing yards, 4.5 yards a carry, 7 rushing touchdowns. So he's accounted for 27 touchdowns by himself in this Samford offense, and they have talented guys all over the place. Montrell Washington, their leading receiver, 770 yards on 54 catches, 8 touchdowns. Michael Weiss has 42 receptions and 4 touchdowns. And right on down the line, their top running back is Jay Stanton, 553 yards on 109 carries, 5 touchdowns. Also has a couple of receiving touchdowns. So they spread the ball around. Again, they like to go at an incredible tempo. Where that hurts them is on the defensive side of the football. They're averaging being on the field somewhere in the neighborhood of 36, 37 minutes a game defensively, and that begins to wear you down. You look down at the bottom of the screen on the left-hand side, 504 yards of total offense allowed, and they allow 39.3 points per game. So they score a lot, they give up a lot, and that has a lot to do with their 4-6 overall record and their 3-4 mark in the Southern Conference. So they cannot have a winning season. They're just trying to close it out with a little bit of pride. You see Furman's numbers there, 22.6 points a game, 345.5 offensively. On the defensive side, allowing 386 per game. And the thing that continues to plague Furman, and really is a problem for both of these teams. Third down defense. Furman allowing opposing teams to convert on third down 49% of the time. Samford allowing opposing offenses to convert 48% of the time. So it has been a struggle in that category defensively for both of these teams, where Furman has been able to kind of keep the boat in the water, so to speak. It's been what they've been able to do defensively in the red zone. 76% of the time, the team's opposition gets into the red zone and they score 26 of 34, but only 56% of those have been touchdowns, 19 times. So Furman's defense has been able to limit opposing offenses to more field goal opportunities in the red zone, and that's why when you look at that and the points per game that they have allowed, 22.5, and that's gone up a little bit in the last couple of weeks. But that's why the defense has been able to hang in and keep this team in games, and more often than not, make big plays when they need to do so. So it's going to be that kind of matchup. How well can Dwayne Vaughn's defense handle this high-octane offense? And everybody's pointing to what Florida did, or more to the point, could not do against the Samford offense last week. And there are a couple of factors at play there. Number one, Florida fires its defensive coordinator, Todd Grantham, and they tell the new guy, okay, you're the interim, go prepare for this offense, which he had probably never seen before. And as a unit, they may see something similar. Maybe the closest thing they see to it is Mississippi State in the Southeastern Conference, but they haven't seen anybody that goes at this tempo. And quite honestly, I watched some game film on a couple of plays with Dwayne Vaughn, and the Florida defense, they looked like they had quit. They had guys who were just jogging after Samford ball carriers. Furman sees this year in and year out and has had varying degrees of success against it. They will not be surprised on Saturday. Doesn't mean that Samford's not going to get their points and get their yardage, but how well can they contain that, and can they limit them to field goals instead of touchdowns? That continues to be one of the positive things defensively this team has done all season long. The Paladins on offense, well, it will be another start for the freshman quarterback Jace Wilson, who on the season now has completed 56 of 111 passes, 875 yards, 5 touchdowns, 3 picks. He's added a rushing touchdown. Had a really good second half last week against VMI, and we talked about the way VMI plays defense prior to that game, and they are a high-risk, high-reward style defense, and there were big plays to be made. Well, Furman made some big plays, especially in the second half with the long touchdown passes to Chase Absher and Ryan Miller that were actually short passes that turned into long touchdowns because of the yards after catch. Also broke a couple of big runs in the rush game from Wayne Anderson Jr., Dominic Roberto. Dom had another 100-yard rushing day. So got that going on, and this Samford defense is going to give up yards, and they are going to give up points. So it's just incumbent upon Jace Wilson to take care of the football, and for the Paladins to control the tempo of this game. You know, one of the best ways to keep an offense like Samford's in check is not let them on the field. So you may see Furman go deeper into the play clock and try to run some more time, especially if they can get things rolling in the running game and try to shorten that game a little bit and keep Samford from getting as many at-bats as coaches like to say. It's going to be an intriguing matchup. It's always fun when these teams get together. Now, at the top of the Southern Conference standings, you have ETSU and Mercer at 6-1, and they meet this week. We'll flip it over to the schedule quickly in Johnson City at 1 p.m., and the winner will take the Southern Conference regular season championship outright and get the automatic bid into the FCS playoffs. Wofford at North Carolina, Western Carolina at VMI, and the Citadel at Chattanooga are the other games. The intriguing thing now is going to be how many teams will the Southern Conference get. You have to figure both ETSU and Mercer are in. Would Chattanooga get in with a 7-4 record and a 6-2 SoCon record as a third team? VMI's shot went out the window last week with their loss here at Furman. You can see the Paladins with a win could finish at 4-4 in the league. Samford trying the same thing, and all of a sudden so is Western Carolina as they are hoping to get to 500 in the league. And Wofford, their league season is done. Josh Conklin and company finished the league winless. You're not accustomed to seeing a Wofford team with a conference schedule with a 0 in the left-hand column, but that's the way it is. So while Furman and Samford are going to be playing for pride and off-season momentum, ETSU and Mercer is a huge game this week, with the winner getting the SoCon regular season championship and the automatic bid into the FCS playoffs. Mentioned that it's a 1 p.m. Eastern start, which means noon Central Time in Birmingham. We'll be on the air with the Pepsi Countdown to Kickoff beginning at 11:30 Furman time on our flagship station, ESPN Upstate, 97.7 FM in Greenville, 97.1 in Spartanburg. Online at espnupstate.com or FurmanPaladins.com through the Odyssey app. And then, of course, as we've done all season long and have had some fun with this as well, if you are on the Furman Football Facebook page or my show page, Dan Scott Show on Facebook, we deflected over there as well, you can watch Booth Cam, hear the ESPN Upstate broadcast, and watch the interaction in the booth. And that's been a nice little addition to what we've done as well. We've been really happy with the listenership/viewership of the Ingles Booth Cam. Listen, again, I hope that you've enjoyed these preview videos. I hope they've added a little bit to your routine and your preparation for the game. We've enjoyed doing them, and I can tell you just from looking at the numbers, we're really happy with the viewership that we've gotten and look forward to doing it again when 2022 rolls around. But for all of us on the radio crew, David Cobb, Marcus McMorris, Tom Van Hoy, and me, thank you so much for continuing to support what we do on a weekly basis. We have fun, we take it seriously, but not too seriously, but try our best to bring you the best broadcast that we can, and with these videos, trying to get you set for the game from a broadcast viewpoint. We'll talk to you at 11:30 a.m. with the Pepsi Countdown to Kickoff from Birmingham on Saturday afternoon, Furman and Samford to close out the 2021 season. Until then, for all of us here at Furman, I'm Dan Scott saying God bless you and so long, everybody.